You know how sometimes you can pinpoint the exact moment where everything changed? Turquoise is one of those moments. It was during the making of Turquoise that I realized I didn't have to, or necessarily want to, pursue a career as a rapper anymore. There are at least a dozen reasons why I was so ready to put rap down, so to speak, but the most important reason was discovered through creating Turquoise and would be the engine behind Unless We Meet Again, the album it ended up on as track 3. I started making Turquoise in the summer of 2016. The Matum was only a few months in, and thus I was still making rap. But the thing about the Matum that's always been true is that it's built for exploration, much like Moles and I. If we found a beat that wasn't in the realm of hip-hop but still fell in line with our tastes in other genres, I would take a stab at it and just do whatever the beat compelled me to do. Initially, I viewed these songs as experiments, a way to test and hopefully broaden my abilities. Examples would be Garden, the track before Turquoise on the album, and the song I'm skipping as I do this album breakdown and track sequence because, well, I already made a video for it since it came out as a single before the album. And Dream Come True, the album intro and track before Garden. By the time Turquoise came around, it dawned on me that I was now approaching these non-rap songs less as experiments and more as primary works. When I'd find myself doing one every few weeks, I'd feel reinvigorated, motivated, challenged, excited. More so than when I would do the rap songs. And really, nothing more needs to be said from there, because why ignore something that's bringing you more enjoyment just because it's not the thing you originally set out to do? That's the reason I left rap alone. In singing, I was getting more out of creating than I had in many years, and I wasn't about to ignore that sensation. Still, I'd be remiss to not acknowledge that upon leaving the rap game alone, I kinda dived headfirst into the stranger parts of the singing game. Going from rapping to singing, and somewhat starting with unconventional singing, is a Melvin Burch move if there ever was one. Most would probably start with the kiddie pool. But I was energized, and I wanted to explore every creative part of me I'd more or less ignored for the 9 years I've been rapping, as soon and as much as possible. So, when I looked up from the beat, I found that I'd written a song about a 4-year-old breakup that played with my disorientation, bitterness, and irrational perspective that arose in the immediate aftermath, with the intent to deliver it in a voice inspired by 80s pop and new wave. Yeah. I gotta say, I thought Moles was gonna listen to it, go silent on the phone for 10 to 20 seconds, hang up, and never speak to me again. It was definitely the strangest I'd gotten since the Matum started. Garden and Dream Come True were changes of pace, for sure. This was outright different. But Moles loved it. Everything about it. He didn't know I was capable or maybe even willing to do something like it, and to be fair, neither did I. But I would say because I never tried it. And I probably would have never tried it, at least not anytime soon, if not for the Matum spurring creation. Anyway, one last note about Turquoise. Something I've been dying to say since the album's release last year. I recognize that the song is very blamey. It's supposed to be. It's that whole bitterness angle I was talking about earlier. Well, it's fun fact time yet again. The album was originally 10 songs, not 9, with the sequence of the first 5 being Dream Come True, Garden, Turquoise, a song called Sweet Sapphire, and Pastures. Sweet Sapphire got cut only a few weeks before the album's release as a result of a Moles and Mel debate. Time has shown that Moles was definitely correct about its inferior quality in comparison to the rest of the album, so I'm glad I saw the light in time. Still, it wasn't a content issue as much as it was a performance issue. I didn't have the range I needed to sing it the way I wanted to, but the song was very much a companion piece to Turquoise, and a part of the arc I mentioned in the Dream Come True episode. It completely served to offset my lack of accountability in Turquoise and focus on everything I felt I'd done wrong in and after the relationship. I'm not bummed about the song not being out, because I sound like a wounded wallaby off a bean on it, but I do somewhat regret the arc not being able to play out in its original form, because there's a how you gonna make it sound like you're the only one that got dead dirty sized hole in the plot of the album now that wasn't meant to be there. Still, it's not like I've laid awake at night, shirtless, eating fruit roll-ups, teetering on the edge of a panic attack, wondering if my ex possibly heard the album, got to Turquoise, a song she would definitely know is about her because it's named after what she told me was her favorite color, another fun fact, and hate me even more for painting the picture like she was the villain, not knowing there was supposed to be a song right after that told the whole truth. A truth I never got to tell her I realized. Yeah, that's never happened. All in all, I'm really fond of Turquoise. A real turning point for me creatively. I took a leap of faith, a risk, a chance, and I found something rewarding beyond my imagination. Granted, it threw a lot of family and friends off. They probably thought Moles was turning Mel into some kind of joke, not knowing he had nothing to do with Turquoise outside of sending me the beat. But what they don't know is that things could have got even weirder. Shoot, if they thought that was weird, they should hear the other stuff from that time that didn't make the album. Like Paul and I's collaboration over Stone Cold Steve Austin's theme song.
What turkey? Chicken? What crack? What to the warthog?